Welcome into another episode of Purple Daily here with Phil Mackey, Judd Zulgad, and Declan Goff. And this is the third installment, gentlemen, of Kirk or Blank.
You like that? You like that?
Where we decide Kirk Cousins or blank quarterback. And the game is played this way. These are the parameters that we set here. We're talking about 2 and 3 year windows, a 3-year contractual window. I don't even know my own. I got to read this off the prompter here, right? 3-year window, which is the duration of Kirk's contract. So he's 32 years old with an average cap hit of $32 million. And then the quarterbacks we are comparing here are also tied to their current contracts for the next 3 years. And this assumes that you would have been able to make the swap before free agency this year. So you could have used the extra money, say, if it's a cheaper quarterback, to sign some other free agents. So, all right, here's the first one. We're going to come out with a bang. We were going to save this one, but it's too much fun. Kirk Cousins or Teddy Bridgewater?
You like that? You like that?
Teddy Bridgewater is 28 years old.
Yep.
Average cap hit of $21 million over the next 3 years.
Yep.
Judd Zulgad.
I like Teddy. I'm not a Teddy basher, and he had success when Drew Brees was hurt last year starting for the Saints, but he has still not started a full season or shown us that he can since he brutally snapped his leg before the 2016 season at Winter Park, which is why he is not here. He would be here.
Yeah.
He would still be this team's quarterback to this day if that very sad incident had not taken place. And so because of that, even though I would have some significant really salary cap savings, because of that, I am going to go Kirk until I see that Teddy can play 16 games, can hold up, that leg is fine, which unfortunately I'm not completely convinced of, because the injury was a non-contact and was such a bizarre incident that I am not completely confident that he can play an entire season. If this was just based on the intangibles and Teddy was healthy and Kirk was healthy, and I knew that for a fact, I would take Teddy. But because I don't, and because Kirk is a good quarterback, he might not be great, but he's good. And because he is a durable quarterback, I am taking Kirk Cousins over Teddy Bridgewater at this point.
Okay. And there's an $11 million gap between the average cap hit, too. So this is something to be. All right, Declan, what do you say?
Well, I you know how much I love Teddy Bridgewater. I think he has everything, all the intangibles you can make to be a good quarterback. And when I look at the cap savings and when I look at where the Super Bowl window is, if you were to swap Kirk for Teddy, I don't think the Vikings Super Bowl window shrinks. I don't think it becomes less. I don't think it becomes less of a contender in a wide open NFC. And if you have a more $9 million or so to play with in cap space, that gets you an extra player here that could help you out. So yeah, give me Teddy Bridgewater. But I do think both of them are pretty much at the same, where if you were to swap them, I think the Vikings Super Bowl window is the exact same. That's where I'm at with it.
So I would take Teddy. So Declan's taking Teddy, right? You're taking Teddy.
I'm taking Teddy.
I'm taking Teddy. And here's my logic for this. All right, Judd, you can poke holes in this if you want to, but Teddy is 22-12 as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy is a gravitational pull leader in a locker room. And Teddy makes $11 million less to the cap per year over those 3 years than Kirk Cousins does. So I get a bunch of extra money to play with, which will, come in handy if these reports are true. By the way, the salary cap's going to come down too. I think getting the less expensive quarterback is going to be a huge advantage. And I would not turn away from the fact that Teddy Bridgewater in his career is actually one of the most clutch quarterbacks of the last 6 or 7 years. Smallish sample size, and most of this is with the Vikings in those 2 years. But you got to get a load of these statistics, okay? Teddy Bridgewater's career passer rating in late and close situations, which I believe it's like inside of 4 minutes or something, late and close situations. He has a higher career passer rating. 105 is his career passer rating in those situations. Higher than Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees, and 20 points higher in late and close situations than Kirk Cousins. So again, it's kind of a small sample size, and he hasn't played this out over 10 years, and I am not at all saying that Teddy Bridgewater is a better overall quarterback or even better in the clutch. Like, I wouldn't take him over Drew Brees necessarily in the clutch. But it is interesting that his career passer rating in those situations is higher than Rodgers, Brady, and Drew Brees. Teddy Bridgewater by down. So first down, second down, third down, fourth down. When you think of like, all right, what's the down you got to nail in the NFL? It's third down.
Mhm.
You know, the games are won and lost because of third down efficiency rates. The Vikings defense a couple of years ago, I think they set a record for best third down efficiency rate, or the best one in like 30 years. Teddy Bridgewater's best passer rating by down in his career is on third down. And then, okay, great. He's great on third down for his career. What, like, is it 3rd and 1 where he's handing off? Like, is he racking up points because he hands the ball off to Adrian Peterson 5 years ago? Third down and 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 yards to go. So third and sort of medium, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 7, that window.
Mhm.
His career passer rating is 113. So again, like, we got to see him stay healthy and all these things, but there are so many things about Bridgewater that are intriguing. He's actually the third last year in his 5 games as a starter, the third most accurate passer in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus. Cousins was 4th. Cousins is also a very accurate passer. And so all these things point to, boy, Teddy, if he can stay on the field,
Right.
is he going to air the ball out like Pat Mahomes? No, he's not.
My fear is that leg snaps.
It's awfully cryptic.
That's my fear. Well, it did though. It did.
I know.
It went, and nobody can tell us why. If he gets hit and tears his ACL, and let's say he's out for that entire year, and they surgically repair it, and he comes back, and okay, it's bad, but it's an injury that we can all get our heads around.
Yeah.
Then I am with you completely. But that was such a freak thing, and the fact that it took him so long to come back, and good for him for coming back, but he has now not played a 16-game season since then. I can't take that risk, because if that thing goes again, he's done. And always come back to the fact of when he did get hurt that day, they were legitimately afraid of amputation at one point.
Yeah.
So like, this is all to me, the intangible stuff and the abilities are great. Intangibles are off the charts. Abilities are really good. But when I'm going to take that big of risk, boy, I got to see at least a season of 16 games started and no problems before I say I'll dive in that pool.
I will say there are so many parallels between Teddy Bridgewater and Alex Smith. Not only the devastating knee injuries that potentially ended Alex Smith's career, he's trying to come back. There's a great documentary, ESPN.
That's a
E60 did it.
fantastic watch.
They actually at one point,
It's pretty heart-wrenching though.
dude, we should pop this up on the screen. No, don't do it.
The leg.
They literally show like the bone of, like, they did
Yeah.
the surgery and they had to cut off
It
like
got
some of the
infected.
infected parts of the
totally
meat.
infected.
Ugh, it looked like one of those Minnesota State Fair turkey legs where you kind of eat in half.
Oh,
and
it's
off.
disgusting. But I mean,
So bad.
But it's heartbreaking too, because the guy has worked so hard. Now the difference I would say is Smith, I think, is reliable and good, and I think he's a good team guy.
Mhm.
I think Teddy, as far as team guys go, is off the charts. I think his intangibles, as far as teammates following him, is phenomenal.
But the other things they have in common are they're both like neither one of those guys is going to lose you a football game. Rarely will they throw 3 boneheaded interceptions. Like Brett Favre, one of the greats of all time, will lose you football games. Drew Brees will lose you football games. He just goes bonkers and throws 3 picks once in a while. Like Phillip Rivers, but it's like those guys start with intermediate accuracy, not going to lose you a game, and then the question is, all right, if we're down by 10 points in the fourth quarter, can you loosen it up and sling it around? And Teddy will get a chance to prove that one way or the other with the Panthers.
I hope he does well.
Judd's going Kirk. Declan and I are going Teddy in that one. All right.
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins, again, $32 million
Why'd
a year.
you do this one?
$32 million a year.
Why'd you bother with this
I
one?
This
know
is a
why.
great one.
No,
This is a great
I
one.
get why I did it.
Well, we're going through all the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
at some
I get
point.
why I did it.
Because he plays for $12 a year.
Yeah, I take Sam Darnold.
Actually, it's less than that. Kirk Cousins or Josh Allen. So here's the tail of the tape, okay? Kirk Cousins is 32 years old again, average cap hit of $32 million the next 3 years. Josh Allen is 24 years old, average cap hit of about $7.5 million over the next 3 years if you assume
And there's where
that
he
they
did it.
pick up his 5th-year option. So there is a $25 million difference between these two quarterbacks.
Yep.
Would you take Kirk Cousins or Josh Allen the next 3 years?
You know what? I'm making a phone call. Hello, Colin Kaepernick.
Wow.
Sorry we screwed you, but I'd rather have you. No, Josh Allen. Let me see. How can I count the ways? I know he's way cheaper. The question becomes,
He's mobile too. He can run around.
right, and he
If
can
he will,
and
he'll
he
flee
can
that
catapult
pocket.
over Anthony Barr. The question becomes, do you think that can you bring in enough around him and he's cheaper to win you a Super Bowl? So like if I jettison Cousins, who by the way, I have doubts about myself on that one, but if I jettison Cousins and bring in Josh Allen and now I can go out and sign other guys, do I still think that Josh Allen can be the quarterback to get me a Super Bowl? And my answer is absolutely positively ain't no way.
Yeah.
I don't think I can improve my team enough with the salary cap savings to then say, well, and we got Josh Allen.
I will say he's a better version of Christian Ponder. He's better than Christian Ponder.
And there is why I'm going to say Kirk Cousins.
He's better than Ponder. That should be Josh Allen's slogan.
Is that
tagline.
really your defense for a human being on this one? He's better than Ponder. No, I'm going to go with Kirk. I have zero faith, and I think our friend Stefan Diggs is going to learn that Josh Allen is probably not a quarterback you want to play.
Okay,
with.
hold on. Let me reframe it. And Declan, you can go off of these two scenarios too.
Will do.
You get Josh Allen for $7.5 million a year, and you get Stefan Diggs back for the next 3 years too.
So he can watch the ball sail over his head.
Not all of them are going to sail
I'm
over
still
his
going.
head.
I'm still going Kirk Cousins. I can't do Josh Allen. I can't do that one.
I know I said Sam Darnold in this scenario just 2 weeks ago, but I honestly still believe there's more in Sam Darnold being a purely good quarterback than Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen is a little bit of a freak in nature. He can run around and he can throw a deep ball, but I don't trust him to hit from me to you from 10 yards out. I really don't. And
nor should you.
And yeah, nor should I. And yeah, he rushes a lot, which is nice, but there's nothing about his game that screams out to me. He had a ton of fourth quarter comebacks last year. He actually led the league in game-winning drives and fourth quarter comebacks. Josh Allen did. But I can't get down with a guy who can't accurately throw the football. And if Kirk Cousins was making less money, I understand the difference in money here, but I just cannot get down with Josh Allen being my quarterback in the Super Bowl window that the Vikings have.
What if I toss in Stefan Diggs?
It does nothing because I'm with Judd. He's still not going to hit him as much as he should.
You guys are making a little too much out of that, though. He's not going to overthrow Stefan Diggs on 120 targets. Okay, he's not accurate. In fact, I have the accuracy stats here from PFF. So what Pro Football Focus does is they have an accuracy, an adjusted completion percentage, basically, and it gets rid of if you throw the ball away, which Teddy Bridgewater was the king of throwing the ball away.
Correct.
When he was with the Vikings. If you throw the ball away or a pass gets batted down, or if your hit as you throw, like it counts. How accurate are you if you drop back and you throw the ball without anything else happening? And Bridgewater's third, Cousins is fourth, Josh Allen's 30th on this list in the NFL. Tom Brady's actually 28th. He was not very accurate.
That's what Declan said, but then he got ripped by the public.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I can't do it, Phil. There's nothing that you can give me on this one that's going to sway me towards Josh Allen.
The hard part is, like, just to clarify, Kirk Cousins is a far superior quarterback to Josh Allen. Yes. It is not close. I would take Josh Allen's age, his salary, and his mobility.
But which human being are you taking, Phil?
Which human?
Yeah. Well, I mean, which player?
I don't know. What kind of is Josh Allen a good guy?
Which player are you taking though?
The player I'm taking is Kirk Cousins.
Okay, thank you.
But
it's a hat trick.
But if I get Stefan Diggs,
yes,
and I get Josh Allen's salary, and I get the extra money because Diggs makes like 14, so you're bringing 14 back, and Josh, you're still saving like $10 million to bring an extra player in.
Yep.
I am strongly considering the Josh. I would trade Kirk Cousins for both Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen.
If you did that as a GM, I think you'd be absolutely grilled, and you deserve it.
Why?
Because you just said you're bringing in a guy who, hey, at least he's better than Ponder. Like, that's him. Kirk Cousins.
We should do another list is, are they better than Christian Ponder? Mitch Trubisky. He's a little bit better.
Guy.
He's a little bit better.
Same guy, probably.
Drew Lock.
I'd take Drew Lock.
Yeah, I'd probably take Drew Lock. I'd take almost anybody over Christian Ponder. Sorry,
but the exercise. I mean, there's so much. My point is, there's so much value in a quarterback making like $7 million instead of $30 million for roster construction that it has to at least be considered. Okay. And by the way, on the completion percentage, the adjusted completion percentage, Josh Allen still sits at 7 out of every 10 passes he throws are fairly accurate, according to this. So.
I predict that because the Bills are pretty good now. I think that Josh Allen is going to, in 2020, lose them some games.
He lost in the biggest playoff game.
And
he was a disaster.
And
horrible.
And I can't jettison Cousins for a quarterback who I think is going to lose me games.
I got one more for you guys that's not even on the prep sheet.
Oh, all right.
I can't do it then. It's not in the prep sheet.
Okay. Just to illustrate,
What am I supposed to do?
I'm going to take my cheap quarterback to the extreme here, okay? Kirk Cousins,
Or George Blanda?
you're not far off. Kirk Cousins, age 32, $32 million a year.
Yep.
Or 50-year-old league veteran minimum Brett Favre for 1 year. For 1 year. 50 years
Can I-
old, the gunslinger.
What's my offensive line like? Can I protect Favre?
You get in his prime Steve Hutchinson back.
Oh, then I'm going Favre.
You're going 50-year-old Favre?
Oh, that arm's not gone.
Absolutely not.
That arm's not gone.
Absolutely
That arm's
not. What
not
is wrong with
gone.
you? 50-year-old Favre who almost died on TCF Bank Stadium at 39-40?
Hey, he's taking a chance, but he's still got the arm.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, gunslinger. Come on down.
I'm with Judd, man. I'm taking Brett Favre.
Oh,
Screw it.
Could I come back?
Maybe. He's
With
also been
with
working on his
Hutch.
physique a lot more in the last 4
Oh,
years
he's
than he probably
chill-
ever
he's
did as a
built.
player.
Take a chance on Tanner Morgan and draft him before you take 50-year-old Brett Favre, dude.
Jacqueline, come on, man. The guy is doing triathlons now. He's in great shape. If he has the proper
Got the copper
protection,
fit. Yeah, good for Brett.
come
All right.
on. Jerry Rice
that's
might come back
hilarious.
with him.
That's a wrap on this episode of Purple Daily. Thank you for listening and or watching. If you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be excellent. And you would also get daily Vikings content served right to you in video form. And on the podcast front, Apple, Spotify, and scorenorth.com, the best places to consume Purple Daily. We'll see you next time.